tuck, basket, leads, ride. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11, and 12. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. We're going to break it down, this being the slot, so you could face the camera. Leaders, right to her right. We start with just a simple tuck, but it is going to be a syncopated tuck. So we take our 1, 2, 3. At this point, leaders, when you're giving her the 4, take your left hand and reach for the hip that's closest to you. 4. And notice on 4, I step down the slot towards her, continuing on the rail. As I follow through with my right hand, I'm going to step back on 5. I'm going to step across the slot on and then I'm going to step forward on 6. Notice I also changed the hand hold. We're going to do that facing this way so you can actually focus on the leader's change on the basket. We have 1, 2, tucking a 3, catch the hip on 4, rotate to your right, 5, and notice I switch, or I take my right hand on her right hip, 6, I step forward, my right hand's on the hip, my left hand's in hers. Notice that my alignment, I want to get close enough to her. I think of it as there's a pole right in between us, so I want to get close enough to her, but still allowing for comfort. I'm not pulling her towards me. I'm not pushing myself towards her. I'm going to take that step just strategically so we end up being connected like this. There's a little bit of rotation as I'm stepping forward to prep for the next part.
Followers, for us, after the syncopated tuck, I'm going to go in this direction. So we're taking that 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, important for leaders to note here as well, Nino doesn't have the hand out to catch my hip because then I would take it. He's got it low to catch me, so I don't even really see the hand, which is good because I will take it with my free hand. We're going to turn 5 together and the leaders are going to cut across, which will cause us to go back on our left on 6.
A couple things about this connection. We're going to move so you can see it. Not only do I have her on the hip, but I have her so her arm is right up against my chest or my tummy, right? So she's got her tricep, and then I have my hand, so it's kind of locked in. Not heavy, but that way she feels every little micro movement of my body.
Also, to followers, because we're going to be driving back with our momentum, make sure you're not leaning, okay? So I make sure I'm still staying forward as I drive back.
Okay. Now, the next part. So let's keep going. So we just finished in this. We're going to walk for 2 counts. So leaders, just with your left foot, followers with your right, we're just going to go 7, 8. So those are just normal tempo walks. But here we go. We're about to give her that inkling, hey, we're going to give you a little extra energy to go into the ride. So the next 2 steps are going to be and 9. And I'm going to accelerate them. And I'm also going low. So it's going to be and 9. So if you notice, that step was just the leaders. If I went 7, 8, then on the and 9, I take an and 9. So I go into my knees, I lower, and then I also have extra rotation, especially on that 9. I actually want that over rotation because then the release of that energy will cause the ride or give me that momentum I need for the ride, and also will communicate to her, hey, something's up, here comes a ride, and she'll be able to motor through it. I get the motor started, and then she motors through, continuing. So let's just break that last part down. So we're in this position. We just did our 6, so we're going to take a walk on 7, 8. 7, 8, and 9. And then we walk it around. Once I get into that position, so on my 9, I'm here, and then I release my left foot, I'm aiming to be kind of slightly back. So my left foot goes to the side, but it's slightly back. So you can see it from this angle. This is the angle. I don't want it to be even. I definitely don't want it to be in front. It's going to be that rotation. When I release it, it just goes to the side with a slight back component. And then she's going to power through. I initiate, but then she's going to follow through, so that way she gives me as long of a ride as you want in social dancing. We're going to stop on the and 12. So all the way through, we're going to face this direction. Including the ride, we have our 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, 11. Now notice on the 11, I came up. So then I just give her a rock step, opening my frame up. So notice I take that arm away. She goes and 12. Then we walk the 1, 2, giving a free spin, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, which you should know it's just a free spin, but from a left to left hand hold.
Followers, let's quickly talk about keeping that momentum going around the circle. So we're going to go from the 6. I'm on my left, leaders on the right. We're going to take the normal walk, 7, 8. As soon as I feel the acceleration, I want to keep the timing of the acceleration. So I'm going to take that and 9 and 10 and 11, and then obviously the leader's going to decelerate, and we're going to take that and 12 to get out. So we want to make sure we're taking that extra speed, those extra weight changes, to keep the leader going around with our own power.
Something to keep in mind on rides is that if I'm leading it and I want to do it myself, I give her that start, that push button and 9, and then she kind of takes over. So followers, you have to be open to it. Leaders, some followers won't realize that that's what you want. They won't give you that momentum, so you just have to be prepared you might only be able to get about that far, and then you might have to continue walking through it if she doesn't pick up on that energy. But followers, the other thing I notice a lot of times is followers will see the leader stick their leg out and they want to ride, and the followers think, oh, that's a great idea, and they'll do the same thing. And that's a disaster. You remember, only one person can actually be, at the moment that we start the ride, the axis is now here. All right, so that's the axis. She's powering around it, and my left foot is just the show. So you can't have two people doing that. You can't have two axes, and you can't have two people just being the show and no motor. So whoever's initiating, that's going to be the person who's, like, let's say I'm initiating, and then I stick my leg out. Followers, if you see it, that means he wants you to motor through. All right, and then there's other rides where the follower can take over if the leader's kind of giving her something, and then she can actually style.